She looks and sees those handcuffs on my ankle, and she's just like, oh. Brothers and sisters, may the Lord give you his peace. Father Malachy, great to be here with you on the way again. The month of October is this time that is dedicated, this month that's dedicated to Our Lady, to Mary, the mother of Jesus, who also is offered to us as a mother. And so I just want to talk about what exactly is Mary's mission? And is there a place for her in my life? As I think about what's Mary's mission, I think about my mom. And I think about this beautiful story from when I was younger, right? I'm the second of 8 kids, and the first 6 of us are boys. So the oldest of us were all guys growing up together, lots of fun adventures, and just like camouflage, cowboy clothes, baseball uniforms. As kids, one of the games that we would play, right, is we'd play cops and robbers as kids. But one thing that made it particularly cool was that my dad was actually a police officer growing up. He'd let us use his old badges or different things that he had. And one day, my older brother and I are playing, and for whatever reason, yet again, I found myself being the robber, and my older brother was the cop. And so Daniel's coming chasing me, and he's looking for a way to arrest me. Now, when you have these little guns and handcuff sets as kids, there's these nice, cool little toy sets. And so I had one of these, and he was using that, and it broke. And so he's looking around and looks in my dad's top drawer where he has his extra police gear, and he finds an extra pair of handcuffs. And so he comes over, arrests me, gets me on the ground, throws those handcuffs. Because I run so fast, he was like, I'm going to put them on his legs so he can't go anywhere. So puts them on my ankles. So I'm kind of done being arrested. We're supposed to hit the reboot, right? And then all of a sudden I go down and I go to hit the button that you click to undo the handcuffs. But we didn't realize that actually real handcuffs don't have that button. The toy ones do. There's no button on this. And so I'm looking down at these handcuffs on my ankle. I'm like, what's gonna happen? And I start scrambling, trying to figure out how to get them off. And as I'm trying to do that, I push them and they get tighter and they start squeezing on my ankle. And I'm just like, ah! And then I start crying. And then my brother's freaking out, and he goes to the drawer looking for a key. He doesn't know what to do. So he runs and he finds my mom. Mom comes in, sees me there, looks at my brother and is just like, what's going on? And then she looks and sees those handcuffs on my ankle, and she's just like, oh. So she goes over to the drawer, pulls out keys, goes down to try and unlock the handcuffs that are on my ankles, and nothing's working. There's no key that's working. She calls my dad, who's at work, and Dad's like, those handcuffs were there because I had lost the key. And he says, well, come downtown to the place where we have our police supplies that we buy them from, And so she picks me up and carries me to the car, puts me in the car. We start driving downtown. We're looking for parking at midday in my downtown city of Augusta, none to be found near the place where we're going to. She has to pick up a kid with handcuffs on her ankle and walk down the sidewalk, right? And so it's we get to the store, and when we get to the store, we walk in, the owner there, Mr. Waters is there, Steve, and my dad comes walking in, and you can tell my dad's just he's like, it's like a blow a gasket. And walks in and he sees me and he looks at Steve, and Steve's like, okay, I'll check out and see what we have. And he goes and he grabs a jar full of keys, massive glass mason jar, dumps it out on the counter, and they just start trying keys. And here they go. I'm sitting there for probably 15 minutes. They're trying all these keys, hundreds of them, literally. And then finally, one of those keys goes in and it's just click. They took the handcuffs off, and I just reached over and just grabbed my mom. And she just grabbed me. It was just hugging me. And I'm like, oh! And then my dad's like, it's all right, son. It's going to be okay. Always think about this experience from when I was a kid when I think about Mary. Because Mary has one mission, really, right? All of our lives, all of our hearts, because of the reality of brokenness and sin, the sin of other people, our sin, right? They're bound up. They are cuffed tight. And there's only one place and there's only one way for those handcuffs to be undone. This is the key, right? The key that Christ is, Jesus is, the key of these sacraments that give birth to new life in us, baptism, and even when we screw up again, confession again and again and again. And Mary's mission is to bring us to this place of freedom, bring us to this place where the answer to the problem in each of our hearts finds its response in her son, Jesus. That's all she wants to do, gather us up. She comes and she finds us where we're at, bound, lacking freedom, scared, alone. She comes and she seeks us to lift us up into her arms and to bring us to the one who can do something about it. My mom, she by herself could do nothing about those handcuffs that were on my ankle, but she knew where to bring me. And this is the way we see Mary, right? That Mary on her own can do nothing for us, but she knows where to bring us to Jesus. And this is her mission, to point us to Christ, to have us learn what it means to live in relationship with Christ. And so this month that we're entering into, this month of October, starting next week, I would invite you to just ask the question, where in my life do I lack freedom? Where in my life are there handcuffs on me and I feel like there's no key? Where in my life am I wanting for but not finding a deeper communion with the presence of God, with his life, his freedom, his love, with Jesus? To ask Mama Mary, hey, Mary, come and pick me up. Mary, come and carry me to the place of freedom. Maybe you need to be carried to a confessional to be able to experience the mercy of God there. Maybe you need to be carried into an adoration chapel to just sit there and bask in the light and presence of God's love for us in the Eucharist. Maybe you need to be carried back into a place where forgiveness is the freedom that you need. Forgiving another, letting go of the offenses you carry. Whatever it might be, maybe there's physical suffering, let her take you to Jesus for healing. He heals all things. Mary invites and creates this space and opportunity for the encounter with the Lord, and she wants to do that for you as well. So let's ask her to come. Let's ask her to take us up into our arms, and let's ask her to bring us to the place where freedom is found. It's in the Father's house. It's in the presence of Jesus, and he's the one whose footsteps we continue to follow. God bless.